Friday lecture series each week brings to you a new speaker from the interdisciplinary fields of philosophy, psychology, literature, and much more. It is conceptualized by Dr. Sankita Menon, who is Dean of Humanities and Head of Consciousness Studies Program at the National Institute of Advanced Studies. So today our session is being chaired by Dr. Shankar Rajaraman, who is a postdoc fellow at the National Institute of Advanced Studies. So a few more words about Dr. Sushim Dubey. He is working as a professor at the Department of Philosophy, Navnalanda Mahavihar, deemed to be University, Ministry of Culture, Government of India, at Nalanda, Bihar. Prior to that, he has worked as program officer in the Indian Council of Philosophical Research, Ministry of Education, Government of India, New Delhi, and philosophy and yoga in various institutions across the country. Dr. Dubey has received his MA and PhD in philosophy, PG diploma in yoga and national fields. Dr. Dubey has to his credit publications of 14 books, 39 research papers, and numerous invited talks. He has received the Best Book Award on his book called New Delhi. So it is indeed a privilege to have you with us, sir, today. It will be an honor to hear you speak. So over to you, Sushim, sir. Please begin your lecture.
Thank
Sushim,
you
sir?
so much. Thank you so much, Miraji, for giving introduction to me, and my honor and my respect to Professor Sangeeta Menonji for very immediately, as soon as she got that I have come here, she gave me the opportunity to speak, and also a word of encouraging through message, also through WhatsApp, I think 1 month back. So once again, thanks for that. And I do see Saurabh is there and all of them who are here with this consciousness, chit, chetana, and all various words which are there for us, within us, and by us to others and around the world. That is our awareness, and the whole center, that is the consciousness, this is study center. And Professor Sangeeta ji is from very beginning over the years, as I have been observing her through the ICPR, and perhaps earlier to that, she is in the training and giving, imparting and going deeper to deeper, and also bringing all of us together in the study and discussions through this consciousness, for consciousness and being consciousness, and evolution and enlarging our all consciousness. So this program, and as I am supposed to talk on Bhagavad Gita and Yoga Sutra for this 30 to 40 minutes lecture. And as we all know, these two treatises or two different, very important and profound and representative text of our Indian culture, our Indian spiritual tradition. Yoga Sutra, at one hand, it defines the yoga as the chitta vritti nirodha, and almost 17 times the word chitta is coming in Yoga Sutra. And same also the word chetana or conscious, only once it comes in the Gita, the word chetana itself full. However, in the various forms that we know about, because whenever we are going to understand the our quest for what exactly the nature of consciousness or definition of consciousness, or how do we understand the Indian spirituality at large. So finally and lastly, we come about the what is the nature of self, and therefrom we need to understand what is non-self. So in yoga philosophy, or particular Sankhya philosophy, we do have two elements, that is the Prakriti, and another element is the Purush, through which a lot of talking has been made, and at least 125 times Atma, or this Atma word, is taken care in Bhagavad Gita, and of course 2 times only in Yoga Sutra, because it is talking about the Purush, not the Atma more. And regarding the Purush also, in Bhagavad Gita, we have 29 times occurrence and 7 times in Yoga Sutra. So what exactly we need we are more focused on, or we want to know what other words which are important to understand the Bhagavad Gita and Yoga Sutra together about consciousness. And different words are like aham, means the first seeding of ego that remains behind, or I consciousness. Then the word the chit, which I have talked about. Another is man, which is 112 times there in Bhagavad Gita, and around 13 times it is occurring in Yoga Sutra, and so also in buddhi, intellect. Or if the man is defined as sankalpa vikalpa mana, kalpana is like bulbule budbude ke saman udbhut, some kinds of thoughts and vichar, which is due to the sanskar or innate ideas or innateness within our own selves, either through the genetically or whatever we are comprising of at one time, at one juncture, one point of time of our existence. So anyway, this sankalpa vikalpa mana, our mind is defined, and Nishchayatmika Buddhi, the decisive power, it is the Nishchayatmika Buddhi in Indian cosmological, in particularly in Sankhya tradition. And Antahakaran is another word. Man, Buddhi and Ahankar together, the Antahakaran, and Prakriti and Bhut. These are also very important words that we need to understand as a whole to know about the what is Yoga Sutra, if it is saying the Chitta Vritti Nirodh, that what from what this Nirodh has to be done and what will remain ultimately in the last. So this is how the Chetana is to be understood. And in Bhagavad Gita also, where the Chetana is occurring in chapter 10, 22 verse, only once it is occurring, and the Lord Krishna or the Sri Krishna or the sayer of the Gita, he is telling Bhutanam Asmi Chetana. The difference is occurring, Bhutanam. So there is some Bhut, there is some Chetana. And this Bhut again is coming from the word Bhu. It means Hona, Hua, from where the creation is occurring. And if we see the Sankhya theory of this creation, then it goes up to the three primordial elements, that is the Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. And at this juncture, I invite the attention of all, and also I invite going into the deeper of all, because this theory of creation, as we see in the 72 Karikas of Sankhya Karika, or maybe 196 or 197 Sutra of the Yoga Sutra, very simpler. But as we happen to be the students of philosophy only, and we limit to the philosophy, and somewhat at some extent some of us go to penetrate or to further explore the Sanskrit text and literatures, there we explore. And maybe very few of us are going to further explore in the field of Ayurveda, where these three gunas and entire existence, our physiological as well as our actions, as well as our fruition, as well as our activities, these have been elaborately discussed, and a whole our activities, as well as how we can maintain the health in totality, it has been discussed in Ayurveda because of these three gunas, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, and their modifications. So where it seems to be the little less in Sankhya Karikas, 72 Karikas, or 700 verses of this our Bhagavad Gita, these have been in practical there in the Ayurveda, and I only appeal that we should go further to explore it, so that we can understand more about the consciousness. And I say, because in our current scenario or Indian scenario, after this university education system, a way Sankhya system has been dealt only for the criticism to further develop in the theory of Advaita, which is not in the case if we go to see in the Ayurveda system. Anyway, this is one of my important observation, particularly personally to me. Now, coming back to the Bhagavad Gita, as we are talking about the consciousness, it starts with the moha, vimoha, sammoha. Consciousness, in fact, may be the state of purity or purush or pure self, that is, it is separated from, it is distinct from, it is when it is discrete, there is a discretion, vivek gyan. That state is the state of consciousness according to Sankhya philosophy and also in the Yoga philosophy. And by the Chitta Vritti Nirodha, maybe these are the Pramana, Viparya, Vikalpa, Nidra, Smriti, 5 vrittis. In the very successive sutras after the second sutra in which Patanjali defines this Chitta Vritti Nirodha. So they keep on coming, and what are the Pramana, what is the Viparya, what is the Vikalpa, what is the Nidra, what is the Smriti, keep on defining them. And one after another, these sutras successively, a theory of whole realization of something which is Lord Krishna is telling ki bhutanam asmi chetana, to realize this chetana, this consciousness. Anyway, in Bhagavad Gita, as this is the state, this samoha, moha, vimoha. So these are the illusions if we are talking about the Vedanta language. Or at the end of the Gita, after knowing that what should be the karma, what is the akarma, vikarma, sukarma, whole entire ethics or theory of ethics, morality, that Arjuna says, nashto moha smriti labdha. So what should be the proper way of action and how it is our consciousness is affecting? I am telling this thing particularly to all our intellectuals. We are here in our education system because I was just seeing the varieties of discussions and theories, maybe the medical, psychological, and spiritual, and maybe pedagogical, so many theories of consciousness, and why we are aiming, or what we are aiming for the discussions on this consciousness. Very simple thing. From the very beginning, as we grow up, we keep on chasing for the knowledge, we keep on fulfilling ourselves with the information and knowledge and acquiring power in a sense ki we ourselves in the confident ki we can deliver this thing, we can change this thing, we are capacitated with this thing, either in terms of money or in terms of any further means, sadhan, arth, vitt, dhan, anyway. So these are making our consciousness in a form of other instrumentality, that we want to be more and more confident, we want to be more and more satisfied, we want to be more and more retain on one position ki as yes, we are capable of, we are confident of, we are we can change, we can move, or we are in another word, we are safer position where we can rest upon for the challenges, for actions, or according to psychology, that each time we have the challenges for either fight or flight. So why this study, or how this study of consciousness or a discussion of consciousness is useful? At one statement or one question, how we can grow our consciousness, how we can more evolve our consciousness. And by this, the question comes, what is the relation of our own body and mind? What amount we are free from our own body so that we can invest, or we can further intake more information on others? That is the very typical and technical relation of consciousness, or taking the feed of information within us. And that depends upon how, here the theory of Ayurveda comes, how stronger a physique is, how important or coping up ability, psychological ability, surroundings, temperature, ahar or food is there. So these all a vast means, as much as I understand, a vast area or vast surface or vast theories or ways to penetrate or to know how and why and which way the consciousness is functioning, and a totality of the consciousness is what? Again, I am repeating. the overall, this our education system, the overall activities, the overall and ever growing of our own self is to maximize our own self, and this depends upon the consciousness. And this consciousness is comprising of instrumentality in the forms of either the money or the power or the instrument, and so on and so forth, various things of which we are aware about and which we are gathering or which we are making for our own self, which we are acquiring all these things. So the very juncture or very fruitful discussion or very that how we can maximize our consciousness, and this is how and why the theories or the Indian spirituality have become live and survived through the ages, either in the form of Gita, as the whole plot is there, the state of the Arjuna is there, where is the state of delirium or moha or vimu or sammood, what should be the state of decision and how it can be composed of, the whole in-depth psychology is there. Or in the form of Yoga Sutra, if I am saying, then immediately nothing seems to be ki it can be taken in the form of ki consciousness can be evaluated. But while with the practicing of the pranayama, while with the practice of prana vidya, while is the practice of yoga or yogasan, that is the in a simpler and slow physical practices which can channelize the bodily sukshma pranurja, through which, or the meditative practices, either the nasikagra or bhrumadhya drishti, where the entire our consciousness that is stretched or taken, or one become in the state of awareness only, which is defined in the medical science as the altered state of consciousness. Anyway, Barhal, here in this very small amount of time, 40 to 45 minutes, in fact maximum 40 minutes, I am only to discuss about aiming to there are the ways in our text, this Indian, our spirituality, or in Sanskrit text particularly. In fact, the Sanskrit language, which you have perhaps last lecture on that, it has the potential of sattvic gunas only, and because of that it has survived. If we are talking about sattva, rajas and tamas, and this sattvic guna in the theory of creation of the Sankhya, if we refer to, then the first contact or first guna with the Mahat Tattva or intellect is with the Sattva only. And this Sattva is related with the creativity, the positivity. And this creativity is something which is perhaps going upward, is vertical consciousness, the consciousness of the truthful, that is the further revelation of, further exploration of what has not been explored further than the total Jnanatmak Vyapar, is resting with the inculcation of the Sattva within us, maybe in terms of food. And in terms of food, this Sattva is defined as what is the essence of that food. And this essence is concerned with what can boost up sthirta, laghuta, andar se acha lagna. That is what it has been defined in the Bhagavad Gita. And furthermore, these three gunas have elaborately, if we have seen it or we have not perhaps missed it, in 16th chapter, in 17th chapter, in 18th chapter, these three gunas have been further explored and explicated there in the form of sattvic buddhi, tamasic buddhi, and rajasic buddhi. Sattvic dhriti, tamasic dhriti, rajasic dhriti, sattvic chama, tamasic chama, rajasic sama, so on and so forth. And only in this indication of some of those areas and terms is for the purpose of that what we can select and what we should son of, that these all three situations together comes to us, as the Upanishad also says, that is the from the Kathopa Upanishad. There's a lot of Kathopa Upanishad same verses coming into the Bhagavad Gita also, that it says about the Shreyas and Preyas both, what is immediately and what is at the last. So this consciousness, as the word come square, or there are so many its meaning, as etymologically in Greek or in Roman or in English tradition it has been given, but in our Indian tradition, this Chetana or Chitta is defined as the purity, and the example in the Sankhya Karika or in the Yoga is also given as the Sphatik. Sphatik is something found in the hilly region, or particularly in Himalayan region, or it is a purity, means everything is reflected upon it. If somebody stands before it, then the whole imagination or his chaya or entire that will be there in the Sphatik. So this chit nirmalata is talked about in the form of Sphatik, or the purity of the consciousness, or the Purush, that is the Chetan, and it is different from the other Bhut, that the Shri Krishna is telling ki aham bhuta nam asmi aham chetana. Only I am inviting, if just we see the process or steps of creation in Sankhya philosophy, then there are 24 elements, as perhaps many of us might have a lot of time have heard about and read about it also. And this theory of creation only indicates these 5 bhut, that is the Prithvi, Jal, Chiti, Jal, Pavak, Gagan, Samira. This is how it comes in local language also. And Pancha Tattva, Adhamsari. Anyway, I am just focusing on Bhagavad Gita and Yoga Sutra only. And this Bhagavad Gita, in 2nd chapter also, lot of discussion have been made with it regarding to the Sthiti Pragya. Yoga has been defined as the Yoga Karmasu Kaushalam. Further, in the next sutra, it has been defined as the Samatvam Yoga Uchyate. I only invoking these 2 things with the creation or 24 elements, that action to be done in a way that these 24 elements or 23 elements are separate from the consciousness. Ultimately, this is to be discretionary power needs to be inculcated, Vivek Gyan, and thereby the entire consciousness shall be just like the Sphatik. And I have given a question कि कैसे चेतना बढ़े, evolution of consciousness कैसे हो. सारा का सारा हमारा जो अनुभव है, जो हमारा व्यापार है, जो हमारी एक्टिविटी है, वो धन से, धनाढ्य से, बड़े से, बड़प्पन से, विख्यात से, महाविख्यात और सर्वविख्यात और जगत में पूरा पता चलने, ये सब सारी व्याख्या कहाँ से आती है? जब सब कुछ ज्ञान आ जाएगा. And these knowledge, these information, this to be situations, which itself the body shall remain the same. बहुत बड़ा शरीर नहीं हो जाएगा जब सब कुछ पता चल जाएगा या बहुत सारा धन आ जाएगा. It will remain like that only. But with the process of this, it is going to be the maximization, that is knowing these 23 elements, the whole creation and action in that, an excellence of action. In another way, if I am allowed to say, this is also termed as the management in our this management theory, which has emerged after the 90s or 80s, decade of 80s. So the process of evolution of consciousness, it goes up to the extent or higher realm or highest up to its form, where the separation, then the pure state of consciousness is achieved. It also means to say the fruition or the resultant or the ultimate what can be gained by the process of these 23 or 24 elements of Prakriti or nature, or acquisition of all worldly knowledge and potential and powers, it is going to be like that ki they are the resultant of these three gunas, or this sattvic, rajasic and tamasic gunas. So a separation, if this is understood or this is realized or this vivek gyan comes, then only the state of consciousness is achieved. And Yoga Sutra, its last verse is going with this only. I will read also at the end if the time permits. In the same Bhagavad Gita also, the Lord Krishna, in various chapter-wise chapter, which in itself are the form of the yoga, that is the each chapter, either it is the Brahma Vidya, it says. This is also very important word we have gone to discuss in, as with the advent of English language and the modification of our modern education system through English medium, and we have left or we have shunned, and unfortunately we have lost the wisdom which was contained in the word. And I should also say at this juncture, words are formed, words get creations, words are generated with the wisdom only. There has to be indication of some kind of direction, some kind of intention and some kind of meaning, and through which utterance these words comes, and through that wisdom is preserved and provocated, and by the form of words there are the language, sentences and meaningfulness, and that remains to be thousands of years in the Sanskrit, and that cannot be done with the English. Anyway, I was just discussing about the Bhagavad Gita. Of each chapter, it at the end colophon says Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre, and I just want to focus on this Brahma Vidya. This Brahma Vidya relates with the Brahmacharya, and this Brahmacharya is whole the potentiality, energy level. And as now we understand that this is the whole entire energy which is taking and changing the shapes or forms or one way to another. This is only the change of energy. And I have also said कि in the पूरे जीवन में जो भी हम एक्वायर कर रहे हैं, जा रहे हैं, ले रहे हैं, उसको हम शरीर इतना रहेगा, दिमाग इतना रहेगा, लेकिन बहुत सारे घर हो जाएंगे, बहुत क्षमता साधन हो जाएंगे. This is only the change of energy level also that we have acquired, we have changed through our activities and our vibrancy and our energy. So this Brahma Vidyayam, this Brahma Vidya, this Brahmacharya, this energy level, which is in itself is the form of all change, and ultimately to become the Brahman, as it is told in our Indian tradition, that is the state of pure consciousness, which is also told in other words Sat, Chit, Anand, which again are interpreted as identical. And in another word, this is how the state of Purush or pure consciousness. Why it is required? Will it be the brain death? Will it be the continuation or successive state of meditation? Why should one retain on that state of samadhi? There is no activity, there is no worldly pleasure, I don't find anything. So many, so on and so forth questions, but these questions pertain to the process of evolution of consciousness and enjoying consciousness or enjoying the activities and further growing up. These are the discussion, or these are the entire matter in Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna is no more less than the king. Arjuna is no more less than who have enjoyed the decades of life, entire life as the king, as well as the in the forest also, in the Indra or in the Swarg also, and so on and so forth. Episodes are there if we are going to read the small stories of the Bhagavad Gita and Mahabharata. So a discussion or detailed plots have been discussed. There is not more than 25,000 syllables in the form of Anushtup and Trishtup Chand in Bhagavad Gita. So this small discussion I have tried to bring upon the depthness, evolution of consciousness, our own activities, and I shall be glad and I shall be happy because सागर में से तो गागर भरा जा सकता है, परंतु गागर से सागर नहीं भर सकते हैं. So each one of us having the question or their queries, then we can further make with our own gagar again to the sagar. So with this small discussion, and I also wanted to show you the Yoga Sutra and Bhagavad Gita, which I have developed for the searchable edition along with several other Sanskrit texts, and also the Vyasbhas and Bhojvritti, their Hatiyog Pradipika and Hiranya Samhita, the practical aspects contained in these texts about the yoga, their entire chanting also. So anyway, in the next time, whenever it is permissible, or if screen presentation is to be required, then I will make. So our discussion will further grow up with any your queries, any your observations, whatever. And thanking you again in the last to the Meeraji and all of you, to the Professor Sangeeta Menonji and this NIAS program of consciousness studies program, which is bringing all stalwart together on this platform. So thanking you all. My namaskar. And Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you so much, Professor Dubey, for that very enriching discussion on Gita and consciousness. So we have a couple of questions from in the chat box. We will also be taking a few more. So whoever has a question, may I please request you to please put it up in the chat box. We will take all of them. So to begin with, we have Sujan Kumar sir asking a few questions. So
I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it.
Yeah, sure, sir. So if he would like to ask it himself.
Surely. The Sujan Kumar is writing, when you mention consciousness is purity, who defines this term purity? Is it an observer who imagines, conceptualizes purity and calls that consciousness? देखिए, ऐसा है कि तर्क, वितर्क, कुतर्क, सुतर्क, ये जो consciousness, whenever we are talking about, and purity we are talking about. Or one more thing, let us have another example of automata or animals. They can be trained, they can be little bit more conscious, they can little bit more understand. There are elephants which make the pictures also. Similarly, we are also here in the growing age. जैसे जैसे बड़े हो रहे हैं, वैसे वैसे हम और ज्यादा चीजों को जान रहे हैं, करने में सक्षम हो रहे हैं, एनर्जी लेवल हमारा बदल रहा है. अब प्योरिटी की जो बात है, प्योरिटी इट मीन्स द कॉन्शियसनेस अलोन. इफ यू वांट टू नो दिस, देन यू प्लीज मेडिटेट. There should not be the sanskara rupi bulbula. It is keep on coming and generating within yourself and detracting and diverting your attention. Having said so, if you want to be oriented, ekagrachit, और कुछ परफॉर्म करना चाहते हैं, कुछ एक्सेलेंस करना चाहते हैं, so one has to be pinpointed. There also the consciousness has to be the pure, means one centered, one point oriented. अब ये सब प्रश्न नहीं है कि what is the purity. Purity, it means the pinpointedness, the orientation is there. And purity, again, if we talk about, then one has to pure or impure or make how much consciousness of our own self. गीता में बार बार कहा है कि हम खुद ही अपने आप को उठाने वाले और गिराने वाले दोनों हैं. I only mean to say we are all intellectual ki this, with the tools of this consciousness we can grow exponentially in any kind of activity, business or whatever we want to do. And this purity defines and decides its amount and time both of achievement. What I have said, one pointedness, orientedness or focused. So instead of going to the psychology and Western perspective, this is what I wish to respond in a practical way. Shall I take something more?
Thank you, sir. Meanwhile, we'll just ask Sujin Kumar if he has anything more to respond to.
Yes. Invited, please.
Would you like to say something?
Yeah, thank you for the answer, sir. And I was wondering also when you were mentioning about creation, the process of creation.
Yes.
So, for, I mean, please correct me if I'm being inaccurate, but for a process to take place, like there should be two players, right? There should be a force that causes a process, right? So, if, yeah, so, but it means that the force already exists. If there's already a cause that's already created, it already exists. So it means for creation, like when we talk about it, it cannot be separated from that which is created, isn't it? It cannot be a process, isn't it? It's like both emerge in a field, in a sense, right? Otherwise, there is somebody who's identifying creation who is already created. So it cannot be that. I mean, for me to say that creation has taken place, I have to exist to say that. So the actual process of creation, it must happen at once, right? Creation and the creator continuously created in a certain sense, right?
You don't have any queries, answer, and doubt over the theory of Big Bang, which is generally accepted and read and taught to the students, all entire student of the world. कि वो बिग बैंग का पहला कहाँ से आया, बाद का कहाँ से आया, फोर्स कहाँ था, there why there was the first thing. But you all people, means I don't mean to you, means the people who have written the modern philosophy books, they have made several doubtful and queries about the theory of creation of the Sankhya, and in that way the whole theory is termed as कि ये पूरा satisfactory reply नहीं दे पाता है at the one initial cause that triggered the creation. आखिर सात्विक, राजसिक and tamasic, they were the three trigunas in the very beginning in the state of equilibrium. Then why they have started creation? So I am more concerned practical aspects. Practical aspects, I mean to say what we can, हम कितना जानते हैं और कितना जान सकते हैं. There are always doubt, and there can be the reach and limit of knowledge or information. Of course, if we keep on discussing about the last force or last factors, we may in the infinite regress. That is the theory of error or theory of जिसको हम logic में जाते हैं, हम उस पर चले जाएंगे. हम we cannot find out the last cause which triggered anything. So your doubt or your force, it actually, this Sankhya philosophy, I am again telling, and I have also invited you, don't take as much as you have studied from prevailing textbook of philosophy only. Please try to explore in the Ayurveda. It says each and every our own action, realization, fooding, behavior, and growing up, including consciousness, it will give you more scope and more understanding there. I am not throwing or pushing you into the Ayurveda. वहां पर इन 5 तत्वों से ही सप्त धातुओं का निर्माण की बात की गई है जो आयुर्वेद के मूल हैं. So anyway, my response to this.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Now, Ved Sharma has a question. Ved, if you can unmute him.
Yes, how does the abstract consciousness affect the brain, which is physical in nature? So when you say abstract consciousness and brain, then you say that they are the two different things. And brain is physical and consciousness is not physical. How do you say so?
सर जो कॉन्शियसनेस है वो तो अमूर्त है ना, एब्स्ट्रैक्ट है, तो उसको हम
मूर्त
देख
का
नहीं
मतलब
सकते।
शरीर से अलग है,
हाँ, मतलब शरीर से अलग नहीं है,
ब्रेन से
लेकिन
अलग है।
नॉन फिजिकल है, नॉन फिजिकल।
नहीं नहीं, आप जैसे ही ये बोल रहे हैं, दिस इज द ओवरऑल रॉन्ग अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ द कॉन्शियसनेस।
हाँ, मैं आपका यही जानना चाहता हूँ
नहीं,
सर।
आप फिर से समझिए। देखिए, जानवरों को ऑटोमेटा कहा गया पाश्चात्य सेंस में, बिकॉज दे वांट टू सेपरेट द स्पिरिचुअलिटी फ्रॉम दी दिस फिजियोलॉजी ऑफ, या जो जो जानवरों की स्थिति है। हमारे यहाँ पर ऐसा नहीं किया गया। एनीवे, दिस इज अनदर थिंग। जैसे जैसे हम ग्रो अप कर रहे हैं, टेक द एग्जाम्पल ऑफ योर ओन up to that age where you are, how you have your consciousness is enlarged. And one more thing I am telling you, if the consciousness is further, if you evolve or somehow you become, यदि मैं एक इंजेक्शन लगा दूं, आई एम जस्ट गिविंग, या एक शक्तिपात हो जाए, तो इसी कमरे का एस्थेटिक सेंस जो आपको अभी जैसा लग रहा है उससे बहुत बेहतर और अलग, यू विल सी द ओरिएंटेशन ऑफ एंटायर रूम इन डिफरेंट वेज. Similarly, the world around you will look differently, and you will find that this is not the way that I want to see the things, and you are going to change it, or you are going to manage it. So this consciousness उसी अमाउंट में बढ़ता है जिस अमाउंट में धीरे धीरे, यदि प्रैक्टिकल उसमें जाएंगे, तो जैसे जैसे शरीर ग्रो कर रहा है, इसकी नीड्स या ये स्टेबलाइज हो जाता है, ये बॉडी का जो मेटाबॉलिज्म है, बॉडी की फंक्शनिंग है, और उस अमाउंट में जो चेतना है वो रिलीज होती जाती है, जैसे उसका ज्ञान भी बढ़ता जाता है. बट एट द वन एज बॉडी इज गोइंग टू डिटीरियरेट, and one has to come back on his own consciousness to take care of the body. And this is how our own system has decided for brahmacharya ashram to grahasth ashram to sannyas ashram, like that way. चेतना तो बढ़ेगी, एक जो एडल्टहुड आता है वहां पर अपने आप एक बॉडी जो है पूरा जो उसका ग्रोथ है वो एक्वायर कर लेती है एकदम से ज्ञान, और उसको जो कहते हैं मेच्योरिटी बढ़ गई, डिसीजन बढ़ गया, डिस्क्रिशन बढ़ गया, जिसको हम विवेक कहते हैं. बच्चे में विवेक नहीं होता है, वो केवल फॉलो करता है, इंफॉर्मेशन फीडिंग होती है. क्यों? क्योंकि उसकी सारी की सारी चेतना 5 साल तक 90% दिमाग डेवलप हो चुका होता है. उसकी सारी की सारी चेतना बॉडी कॉन्शियसनेस होती है. अभी ज्यादा ठंडी पड़ने लगेगी, इफ यू गो इनटू द वेरी कोल्ड रीजन, वहां पर आपकी बॉडी कॉन्शियसनेस फिजिकल कॉन्शियसनेस हो जाएगी. आई एम गिविंग अनदर एग्जांपल. टेक यदि कोई अल्कोहल लेता है, वहां पर उसकी ठंडी भी दूर हो जाती है और कॉन्शियसनेस, मतलब उसका इतना कॉन्फिडेंस हो जाता है. वाई? एनर्जी लेवल क्यों बढ़ जाता है? क्योंकि बॉडी कॉन्शियसनेस बढ़ गई है, बॉडी का मेटाबॉलिज्म बढ़ गया है. इसी मेटाबॉलिज्म को स्टैटिक करके, रूटीन करके, एक निश्चित आहार के द्वारा रख के, एक निश्चित आचार व्यवहार के द्वारा रख के, मेडिटेटिव पोस्चर जिसको कहते हैं, भूमृद दृष्टि के द्वारा रख के, इस चेतना को अर्थात देखने की क्षमता को, जो परसीवर है, जो रिफ्लेक्शन पावर है, उसको बढ़ाया जाता है. देन द पर्सन स्टार्ट रिफ्लेक्टिंग एंटायर एक्टिविटी विद इन his own, in and around and at large all universe and activities and whole body. तब जाकर ज्ञान बड़ी तेजी से बढ़ता है. आई एम गिविंग अनदर एग्जाम्पल. जैसे 100 रुपीज से जो है 100 रुपीज का बिजनेस हो सकता है, 150 हो सकते हैं, वैसे ही 1 लाख रुपीज से इट वुड बी द 1.5 लाख रुपीज. At the amount of consciousness you have, now amount of your knowledge, your information, your gain and your potentiality to convert the things or to know or to interpret the things will remain at that amount, in that nature. तो ब्रेन और कॉन्शियसनेस जो है फिजिकल एंड एब्स्ट्रैक्ट, anyway you have another thing to, you are invited, Ved ji.
Thank you sir, thank you.
Thank you, sir. We have Geeta Suri ma'am, who has asked you to explain Spatik, so the concept of Spatik.
Yes, Spatik. Yes, Spatik.
Yes, I would really like an explanation of Spatik.
Surely, madam. And actually, Spatik is related, and it is some kind of a stone which is found in the Himalayan region, and you will find many, like spiritual people are wearing a kind of necklace, or it is not necklace, mala, Spatik ki mala pehante hain. In both way it is important, or it is affecting. One way this Spatik is जैसे उसकी स्फटिक की माला पहनते हैं, इट ऑल्सो मीन्स कि अदर फॉर्मेशंस और जो पंच महाभूत हैं और जो भूत हैं जिनसे चेतना पृथक है, that should be absorbed with the sphatic, as well as it is reminding that they are separate, as well as those who are wearing, it is an indication or sign that they have realized that sphatic, like they have the discretion about the worldly and pure consciousness thing. So sphatic जैसे डायमंड होता है, I think if you understand, like a diamond is there, like the sapphire is there, like that there is a sphatic, that is a kind of a stone.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yes. But in the spiritual tradition, it is very much invoked for the discretion or vivek gyan.
I see.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. So if
Thank
any
you.
questions, we will take them in the chat box. Meanwhile, may I Dr. Shankar Rajaraman to make some chairperson's comments. Shankar, sir.
Thank you, Meera. And thanks a lot, Dr. Sushim Dubey, for your stimulating presentation and also for patiently answering the questions. I have just two queries. If you could answer them. You have the concept of Purusha in Sankhya, multiple Purushas in Sankhya, and the concept of Ishvara in Yoga. But Bhagavad Gita also mentions the word Purushottama. So I wanted to know what is the relationship between Purushottama and the Purushas on one side and Purushottama and the Ishvara of Yoga on other side. That is one question. The other question is about the Anushtup meter. Since I'm a poet, I'm specifically interested in this. You have mentioned about how Anushtup meter, which is considered as very melodious and which when chanted properly produces calmness, stability of mind and peace in your abstract. So Anushtup is a very commonly used meter in Sanskrit. A greater part of Mahabharata and even Ramayana are written in Anushtup. Even Sushruta Samhita and Charaka Samhita, Vagbhata's Ashtanga Hridaya, etc. also contain a lot of Anushtup verses. So I would like to ask, how is the Anushtup of these texts different from the Anushtup of Bhagavad Gita? What is so special about the Anushtup of Bhagavad Gita? So these are the two questions that I would like to ask.
You have very nicely indicated the rather more deeper thing about the Sanskrit and tradition. So, but in Bhagavad Gita, it is really no doubt it very melodious, the Anushtup Chanda. But in Bhagavad Gita also in 11th chapter, even in 2nd chapter and some other places, there are the Trishtup Chanda also, Trishtup meter. And the Lord Krishna or the Bhagavad Gita Kar itself, himself is saying on the 10th chapter 35, 35th verse, Brahat Sham Tatha Samnam Gayatri Chandasamaham Masanam Margashir Shoham Ritunam Kushuma Karaha. Well, he is preferring that Gayatri Chandra for himself. So that is true that the Lord is indicating with the Gayatri Chand, and our entire Rigved in this Gayatri meter or Chand. And this Anushtup Chand we have, of course, in Mahabharata, in our all Kavya Parampara, and of course Bhagavad Gita. So this Anushtup Chand is there, and it is melodious. It means that that Trishtup Chand is also melodious. But one after another, when we recite it, and after the 8 matras, there is a pause in it. Then successive, this half means slok in further 8 matras. So this 8, 8, 8. And if we go to further explore what is the significance of 8 in our tradition, then there are so many about the significance of 8, maybe these 8 directions, or so this 8 is important in a way that our breathing pattern if we are doing breathing in 17 seconds, being a human, each breathing, then 17, this 8 and 8 are the 16. There are the syllables, or there are the words, or there are the matras, 18 matras and 18 seconds for their in one normal human breathing time is there. So perhaps it is matching also in that way. This is about the meteor, and maybe in some other times we may, or another expert will further, I think, give more deeper to your answer.
Sure.
And another thing you have spoken about the Purush, Purushottam or Ishwar Purush.
Yes, sir.
So actually Purush, I think there is no need to further, because I have talked about the Purush, that is the pure conscious, that is different from the 24 further modifications of the Prakriti. And this whole business is only to acquire this pure consciousness or the discretion from these elements, that is to become the Purush.
Yeah.
That is also the state of Samadhi. That is also the state of Chitta Vritti. Right?
Yeah.
Now this Purushottam is the state, if I am to say, then it is the yoga karmasu kaushalam, that the person, or actually the word is person is not the proper, but English is giving the option to say it, person or agent. The person has realized discretion of his own, that is the Purush and the Prakriti. Even then he is acting, like Lord is saying, nothing is for me, but even then I am doing an action. In that way he is the Purushottam. He is Purush also and Uttam also, because for the benefit of the others, for the generosity to others, the action and whole activity and behavior, worldly affairs are there. So he, as long as the body is there, one has to act. One cannot escape. That is what the Gita is telling. And this is what the yoga karmashu kaushalam is invoked. There has to be the kushalata in karma. And this kushalata is the power of discretion. So as to be not to be attached, but to be detached. Detached doesn't mean कि तुरंत detached हो जाओ, लेकिन एक long term में इसको समझो. So that is in that way it is the Purushottam. Now coming to the Ishwar Purush. So in the Yoga Sutra, the Ishwara is defined as the Purusha Vishesh, and the definition which is given as Klesh, Karma, Vipak, Ashayai, Aparamrishtah, Purusha Vishesh Ishwara. Again, same thing which I have told about the Bhagavad Gita. Klesh means Pancha Klesh. Avidya, Asmita, Rag, Dvesh and Abhinivesh. कर्म जो कि एक्शंस हैं, इनके 3 प्रकार के जो प्रारब्ध, संचित एंड संचयमान. विपाक मीन्स इनसे होने वाले फल, और इनके आशय से अपरामृष्ट मतलब असंप्रक्त, नॉट अफेक्टेड. जो पुरुष विशेष है वो ईश्वर है, और आगे भी इसको कहा गया है कि वह तीनों कालों में, मीन्स फ्रॉम प्रेजेंट, पास्ट एंड फ्यूचर. So that way he is or she is, or that Purush Vishesh is Ishwar. Or finally, Sa Esha Purvesham api Guruh Kale Nan Avachhedat, जिस दृष्टि से कह दिया गया है. तो जब ईश्वर या योग में पुरुष विशेष की हम बात कर रहे होते हैं, तो जब मेडिटेशन की स्टेट में जाते हैं और वहां पर जो समाधियों की निर्बीज और सबीज समाधि की बात की गई है, सबीज में तो एक ऑब्जेक्ट होगा. हाउ दिस सबीज समाधि इज गोइंग टू बी कन्वर्टेड और एक्वायर्ड इनटू द निर्बीज समाधि? हु इज टेकिंग केयर ऑफ दैट दिस निर्बीज समाधि और स्टेट ऑफ मेडिटेशन और अल्टर्ड कॉन्शियसनेस शुड कंटिन्यू? बिकॉज देयर इज नो, the person is not the observer that he is in the state of nirbeej samadhi. So this is taken care by the other Purush who were earlier to him, or that Purush Vishesh Ishwar who is unaffected with this Klesh, Karma, Vipak, Ashay. Because a person in the state of Nirbeej Samadhi, if it is not continued with indefinite or undefined or unlimited time, he or she is going to come back also. So that Ishwar is going to maintain Rakshati, जो भागवत में कहा गया है, गोप्ता, जिस जिस नवदा भक्ति की बात की गई है, that is all for the sake of this thing. So that way here the unknown factors or unknown cause or unknown generosity या उनका हमको अननोन जो है समय पर अननोन पीरियड तक मिलता रहे, कंटिन्यूटी फॉर द समाधि, दैट इज टॉक्ड अबाउट द पुरुष विशेष, and their existence has been called as the tasya vachaka pranav. Anyway, these are the spirituality, or at once nobody can jump into the sea and realize the depthness of that. So many of us who are unaware about the ocean of spirituality, they cannot or not immediately understand it, but gradually, जैसा मैंने कहा कि कोई शब्द या कोई भाव तब बनता है जब उसके साथ इमोशंस होते हैं, उसको व्यक्त करते हैं, उससे कोई शब्द बनता है, फिर भाषा बनती है, और सहस्त्रों वर्षों से जो विजडम बनी थी उस संस्कृत शब्दों को ना हम समझते हैं, ना जानते हैं, ना बात कर रहे हैं, अंग्रेजी में बात कर रहे हैं, उन सब से हम हट के बात कर रहे हैं ट्रेडिशन से. So that way, I think I again invite you to please have the reading in original our Sanskrit whenever we are talking about the Indian tradition and our Indian text, and as much as possible to avoid the secondary sources, to be more accurate and clear about our perception and our knowledge and our depth of our Indian philosophy and Indian tradition and Indian system of thought, cosmology, Sankhya and Bhagavad Gita, and finally to the consciousness or Chitta. So I am closing with this word from where we have started, and if there is further question, I shall be happy. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Sushant sir. Thank you, Shankar sir, as well. Because we are running a little short of time, we will probably take maybe just one more question or comment. I see that Vinod Durge sir has asked something, which you have already answered, Sushant sir, but probably if Durge sir would like to speak something, sir, please feel free.
Thank you, Meera. So first of all, thank you very much to Niyaz and also to Dubey sir for an enlightening discussion. Like I personally believe that Indian scripture has a lot of things to offer us in terms of not let it be philosophical, spiritual, or even scientific. However, many times understanding that becomes a challenge. And a few points which Dubey sir had been repeatedly saying was that we need to accept the Indian science in a Indian manner rather than many times trying to translate it. Another important point he said that we also need to practice it, like say doing meditation. So since 1.5 years I have been practicing yoga and I have studied Patanjali Yoga Sutra. So few points which I found relevant and felt like talking about it. So one is like, so one way to understand Prakriti is like Prakriti is matter, Purush is spirit, and Ishvara means inspiration. So there is a sutra like Klesha Karma Vipak Ashir Aparamarshta Purusha Vishesha Ishvara. Thus, that means that when we look at spirit, there can be evil spirit. Evil spirit is impulse or imp. And there could be Holy Spirit, that is God. And speaking in a pure scientific way, Ishwar means inspiration. That is the equivalent word in English. And beside this, there are a lot of things, but it's like over a period of time, I am like trying to learn it more. And as Dubey sir was saying, that more we practice and study, we develop a higher level of consciousness on that line. So since the discussion was going on, I just felt like sharing this, and Dubey sir or even others, they can probably comment on my current level of understanding. Thank you.
Ishwar, I am just telling one thing because as Meera ji has told, running short of time. Ishwar जो शब्द जहाँ से आया है, विनोद जी कैमरा मत ऑफ करिए. Let you on video here should be looked upon to me also. ईश्वर शब्द जहाँ से आया है, श्री, वाक, स्मृति, मेधा, क्षमा, ये षडैश्वर्य हैं. इनसे जो युक्त है वो ईश्वर है. इनफाइनाइट ब्यूटी, श्री, वाक, इनफाइनाइट स्पीच, मेधा, इनफाइनाइट इंटेलेक्चुअल, और स्मृति, इनफाइनाइट मेमोरी, और क्षमा, द पावर टू पार्डन और इन सबसे युक्त, तो पोटेंशियल फाइनली श्री वाक स्मृति मेधा क्षमा और वीर अनंत हैं जिनके, वो ईश्वर है। एंड वी आर इन द प्रोसेस ऑफ ईश्वरत्व बाय द प्रोसेस ऑफ योग और बाय द इटसेल्फ। हर एक व्यक्ति बढ़ना चाह रहा है और कुछ ना कुछ उसमें अनंत ना सही कुछ ना कुछ तो अमाउंट में आ ही रहे हैं ना, और अभी हैं एट वन जंक्चर ऑफ टाइम विथ अवर ओन एग्जिस्टेंस एंड वी वांट टू मैक्सिमाइज इट। सो that way, and about your understanding that matter and spirit, perhaps I thank for your this understanding, but wish that you should be more means with the text, with the original text, and spirit is there with you, of course, and you will further what I should say, let the consciousness be there. Thank you.
Thank you, Sushim sir, and thank you, Durge sir as well. So we will definitely be opening our WhatsApp group for further discussion. So if you have any more questions, suggestions, comments, please feel free to put it up in the WhatsApp group. And yeah, I will just read a comment from Geeta Suri. She says, from my practices and studies, I have found that the understanding of the works in Sanskrit has enhanced practices. Intellectual understanding is helpful only when one can act in the situation correctly. Practice is a must. Thank you, Suri ma'am, for sharing that comment.
अभ्यास वैराग्याभ्याम तन्निरोधा, चित्त वृत्तियों की या कॉन्शियसनेस स्टेट को प्राप्त करने की, दिस इज व्हाट द पतंजलि योग सूत्र सेज एंड भगवत गीता आल्सो सेज। अभ्यास वैराग्येन निग्रहणते मनः, जहां मन को उन्होंने कहा है कि वायोरिव दुष्करा, वायु के समान दुष्कर है मन को कंट्रोल करना, हाउ इट कैन बी डन। सो दीज टू थिंग्स प्लीज रिमेन, अभ्यास एंड वैराग्य, व्हाट आई हैव टॉक्ड अबाउट द पिन पॉइंटेडनेस एंड ओरिएंटेडनेस for increasing in the consciousness. This is what is the vairagya means. This from the other things you are the where, we don't want this thing. And abhyas means abhi ayas, increasing efforts day by day by the capacity whatever we have to more capacitate by the time, by the means of foods, by the means of our thoughts or whatever, as a whole it is possible. So abhyas and vairag जो इन्होंने बात की है प्रैक्टिस की, so more technical, abhyas and vairag, and these are the keywords to acquire purush or consciousness or chit. Again I am ending on this from where we have started.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Now we will now ask Preet to give a formal vote of thanks, and let me also remind you that the WhatsApp groups will be open for further discussion and questions. So yeah, I invite Preet to give a formal vote of thanks.
Thank you, Meera. On behalf of the National Institute of Advanced Studies and Consciousness Studies program, we thank you for this wonderful lecture on understanding consciousness through the Gita and the Yoga Sutras, sir. Thank you so much for the wonderful lecture. I would like to thank Dr. Shankar for chairing the session, and Professor Sangeeta Menon for always being around and for love and support. And for all the participants for being here this evening and gracing the event. And we look forward to everybody's presence on the next Friday lecture session. Thank you one and all. Namaste.
Thank you all. Thank you so much.